Hi everybody. I'm gonna make some homemade rolls today and thought y'all might wanna watch. This recipe is different than my mama's recipe that she always made. But it's another recipe that I use as well. And they're both really good recipes. But I wanna save my mama's recipe for when I'm home in Arkansas and my two sisters can help me and we can make them together. I just think that would be special. But anyway, let's make some rolls. My yeast rising right now, and a half a cup of warm water, and maybe a half teaspoon of sugar, and 4.5 teaspoons of yeast. So that's rising, and I think I've got all my ingredients ready right here to mix with it because it looks like it's ready. I have 2 cups of warm milk. This is about 4 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using white Billy bread flour. Half cup of sugar, 2 eggs, and about 2.5 to 3 teaspoons of salt. I think I went about 2.5 on that. And then a stick of melted butter. So I'm gonna mix all this together. I'm just gonna use 3 cups of the flour to get it mixed up. And then I'll continue to add flour until it's probably about 7 to 7.5 cups. So anyway, so let's put our sugar in here and our salt. Sorry, you might want to see that. That's sugar and salt. And then the melted butter and 2 cups of warm milk. Okay. I know some people are good at cracking eggs with one hand, but that's not me. So I had to put the phone down and crack my eggs. So anyway, here's the eggs, 2 eggs, and I'm gonna just put them in here. And now I'm gonna mix this all up, and then I'll start adding my flour. I guess I should have beat my eggs before I put them in there, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, now I'm gonna add about 3 cups in here. And mix this up good. I need to get me a camera thing figured out so I don't have to use one hand here. And I left my mini tripod upstairs. That's how lazy I am. I don't want to go up and get it. Put some more. Put the remaining 2 cups of my 4. So I have about 4 cups in here right now. And I'm just going to stir this up. I love the smell of bread. Or the yeast and everything when you're mixing it too. It just smells so good. And what I'm going to do is get it to the point to where I can just pour it out, and then I'll add more flour once I've poured it out too onto the countertop. It's hard to do with one hand. Plenty of people can do it with one hand, but I'm not one of them. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some flour out here so I can knead. And I'm going to add just a little bit more flour in here and try to get that mixed up. My recipe calls for 7 to 7.5 cups of flour. Sometimes Sometimes you don't use it all, you know. Okay, now I'm gonna put the phone down and then put my mixture out onto my cabinet here. Okay, I decided to go up and get my little tripod. So anyway, so I'm back now. I've dumped it over here from the bowl, and I have greased or oiled my bowl because I'm going to put this back in here after I need it. And let it rise. So now I'm going to start kneading, and I'll be adding more flour in it as well. So I love to knead dough. My husband hates it. He's found this easy little bread recipe he uses, and it's really good, but you don't need the dough. But to get good yeast rolls, you're gonna have to knead your dough. His recipe's for more of a hard bread, like that you dip oil and you know, like olive oil and seasoning in. It's really good. I really don't have an exact time that I need. I just know how it feels. But you'll be able to tell. It gets real smooth and almost silky. You just keep turning it as you need it. Okay, this is going to be about 7.5 cups of flour that I'm using here. So that measurement's pretty accurate. It's starting to really get a good feel. Get really smooth. It just smells so good. And you bread makers know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna make just a little more. My mama's recipe is different from this one, which is really good roll recipe. This one's a little different. Because you add milk and eggs in this one. And my mama's, you didn't put milk or eggs in it, and you use water as the liquid. And it is such a good recipe too. But I thought I'd do this one today, and I'll do my mama's another day as well. Okay, I think we're good enough. Just kind of, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in this bowl, turn it around, and flip it over. There we go. And there you have it. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this and put it in a warm place. I mean, you know, just out of, not a drafty place, just kind of, I'll put it over on my stove with a towel over it. And the stove's not on, but anyway, it'll need to rise probably about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, I don't know. Just depends on how it looks. But anyway, I'll be back when we get to that point. Okay, I'm gonna look at the, looks like we're ready, so we can just, we're gonna push it down one more time. Well, just, actually it's the first time we're pushing it down. And I'm just gonna push it down and we're gonna let it rise. Rise again. And next time, we will, after it rises, we will make rolls. Okay. They've risen up the second. So the rolls have risen, and now I put some oil in each one of the pans here. I'm going to make my rolls and put them in these pans, and then we're going to let them rise again. Then they'll be ready to go in the oven. So I'm going to start pinching off our rolls. Okay. I just kind of dab the top of them in the oil. Making rolls is so much fun. I just love it. Okay, just about done. Okay, see there? Got our rolls. Now we're gonna let them rise. And then when they rise this time, they'll be going in the oven when they're done. Okay, let's see how they're looking. They are ready. Let's see. We're gonna put them in the oven now. And I'll be back to show them to you when they come out. Okay, we're done. I'm just buttering putting a little salted butter on top. I've already buttered these. This might not be the best thing to get it out with. Oops. All right, here we go. Ooh, it's hot. Man, that's hot. See that steam on it? Let's put a little butter on it. All right. Yum. Okay, everybody, they're done. And I've already dug in, and they're so good. Put them in the oven at 350, and not really sure how long I've had them in there, but just watch them till they're brown on top and on the bottom. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. The butter you want?